You guys hear me now? Oops. Let me get the window here. Sound okay now? Um, Funny thing, no sound. Okay, but it might be a lag. No volume. Okay. Okay. Logitech Brio. Oh, mic auxiliary. Ah, okay. Oh. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Me and my screwing around. I don't know that you can see this. Yeah, I guess now you can see that. Um, it says Brio. Okay, but it says auxiliary mic down there below. Let's switch to that. Digital video recorder. Hmm. Anyway, you guys said you could hear me okay. I hope you can hear me now. I have this really cool camera, a Canon camera, and so I was trying to figure out a way to use that for my live stream. And so I installed this Elgato sound capture card, and it screwed up all my settings. This is twice in a row that this has happened. Let's try that. All right, so let's get back. Chadwick, hello. It's because of the 10 grand Bitcoin. Beam me up. I hear you. Guys can hear me, hopefully. Thoughts on Bitcoin dumping? All right. All right, so let's dive into the news. I'm so sorry that I... Alex, please turn that down. No. Okay, so now you can hear me. Yeah, I'm screwing around with my settings in my computer. I can never just leave it alone. Uh, okay, so that seems to be okay now. So basically, what's happening is I have this mic that somehow got lost in the shuffle when installed that Elgato capture card. And I couldn't really get the digital video camera to work right anyway. Uh, Now they can't hear me. No sound. I know, it's weird, huh? I switched back to the Logitech mic, which is not that great, but it's okay. Um, but my Meteor mic is not working. It's really weird. But anyway, so the webcam mic works fine, and you guys can hear me. The quality isn't as great as I would like, but we'll live with it. Cool. All right, so let's. Anybody that's just joining this is being like, this guy is such an amateur. All right, so Bitcoin breaks 10,000 for the first time since March of 2018. That was a long time ago, actually. Um,
No.
and I'm not sure what the percentage for the year to date is at this point. If you had invested in Bitcoin on January 1st of this year, I think it's close to 200. So let's check it out. Let's see here. We got Bitcoin, and let's look at our 1 year chart. December, January of 19, right? December 7th, December 31st, January. There we go. January 1st, 38.35. It went a bit lower in late January. In Feb, it was down as far as 34. But let's just assume that you bought it on January 1st at 38. So that's roughly 4,000. So doubled. So it's like 150%. I'm not very good at like that kind of math. I thought it was higher than that, though. I thought the year to date return was higher than that. But basically, I know at least when it was in the 8 and 9s, people were saying that it has outperformed every major asset this year. S&P, Nasdaq, Dow, gold, everything else. So that's pretty cool. All right, so the Bitcoin breaks 10,000. That was great. Now, there's a lot of speculation as to why this is happening. Forbes, which I guess is a mainstream financial, it's not the Wall Street Journal, but it is Forbes. It's a respected publication, but this guy Billy Bambaugh seems to be the one contributor that writes about Bitcoin. God bless him. But there's a lot of speculation as to why Bitcoin is going up, and one of the speculations was that it had something to do with the U.S. Reserve hinting that it could cut interest rates as soon as next month to spur growth. So now, supposedly Bitcoin is being driven by the Fed, which it's a bit of a stretch. But basically, the Fed hinting that they could cut interest rates supposedly lowers the value of the U.S. dollar. And when the Fed does something or indicates that they might do something of a certain nature that is going to possibly lower the value of the U.S. dollar as compared to other things, I guess, then that is supposedly supposed to make people want to buy alternate forms of currency, such as gold, traditionally, and now they're kind of lumping in Bitcoin. So I don't know. I personally think that the reason Bitcoin is going up is because it is an emerging technology that is starting to get major adoption. And there's been a lot of adoption news over the last year and a half, or let's say the last year, mid 2018 through today, that was really not driving the market higher as one would have expected, but it's sort of had this snowball effect as the year 2019 has worn on. We've heard rumors of institutional adoption, like Fidelity and TD Ameritrade, I believe they're going to be offering Bitcoin. So we have these. We have Backed, BAKT, which is going to be offering Bitcoin futures and possibly exchange traded funds. So there's a lot of institutional interest in Bitcoin, and there's a lot of adoption going on. There's a lot of blockchain related companies, that are starting to integrate this technology. And Facebook has announced that they're attempting their own cryptocurrency, which has its own issues related and not related to Bitcoin, but that's part of what's driving the Bitcoin price. And so hopefully we'll see this bull market expand to the other altcoins. Now, there's also some talk that the altcoins will not participate in this bull market, that Facebook's Libra is making all the altcoins obsolete, and the only coin that really means anything is Bitcoin because it's a store of value, but people will be using Libra because it's it's an institutional thing people can trust, right? But I find that a little hard to swallow myself. In fact, a lot of people find it hard to swallow because nobody really trusts Bitcoin right now. I'm sorry, Facebook. No one trusts Facebook. One interesting article that I read where it talked about Libra and that it's tied to currency. Their take on it was it's tied to real world assets. All right, but many people don't consider fiat currencies real world assets, right? They're propped up by their governments, and they've got a lot of debt built into them, and they're also inflationary by nature. So, I mean, why would you want to create a cryptocurrency and tie it directly to fiat currencies for the long run? I mean, I understand why Tether does it, but why would you want to have? So now you can hear my son screaming in the background. Alex, please. If you're going to get angry, please go in your bedroom. Please. Then stop screaming over there, please. Please. Go with your mommy. Go with your mommy. I'm staring down a 6-year-old. All right. Another thing about Libra is it's supposedly an independent organization, right? Sort of like Stellar or I don't know, XRP. Independent in that Facebook doesn't directly control it. They've established it as a independent company where there's other stakeholders besides Facebook, like Visa and a couple of other big tech firms. And so it's not directly controlled by Facebook, but Facebook has a seat on the board. But the Calibra, the wallet, is going to be developed by Facebook to integrate with their apps, right? Their Instagram and Snapchat or whatever Facebook controls. So in lieu of the fact that they are controlling or developing the Calibra wallet, they have an additional seat on the Libra board. So they have more than just a passing interest or influence on the direction that Libra takes. So they don't own it outright, but they do control it indirectly more than, say, other people. Yeah. So there you go. Okay. All right. So that's Libra. And some other news that is coming out is there's a lot going on with Binance. And I guess, really people should kind of take notice what's going on with Binance. Well, the major thing is Binance has announced that they'll be shutting down U.S. access to their cryptocurrency exchange proper, right? Their Binance.com, their centralized digital cryptocurrency exchange. Now they're also blocking access to their Binance DEX, which I've done some videos on, starting in July. Now I believe Binance.com will have U.S. access a bit longer. I don't know. I forget what it was. I think it was like September or whatever it is. But they're advising U.S. customers to get their coins off of Binance because they're going to block access. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is that they're also going to be opening up a U.S.-based cryptocurrency exchange in partnership with a company named BAM or BAM. So there will be a U.S. Binance, right? But it won't be the Binance. Binance will continue to exist, but you won't be able to use it if you're in the U.S. So there's a lot going on with that, which is affecting the price of Bitcoin and affecting the price of Binance Coin. So Binance Coin is the native coin for Binance Exchange. They've had it for a while, but it used to be an ERC20 token, and now it has become its own coin on its own mainnet, and Binance is rolling out sub tokens that can live on the Binance chain. So a lot of big stuff going on with Binance, and if you look at the coin market cap, you'll see that Binance Coin is now number 7 in market cap, and it's at $38.38. And just look at that chart for from September of 17, when it was $2.67, up to today when it's 38.34. A lot of people are holding Binance coin. And with Binance being blocked in the US, a lot of people are wondering, what the heck can I do with my Binance coin? Because you need a wallet for it that's compatible. And there is one wallet, the Binance Dex, which they're going to block access to in July. So you can't really store it on the Binance Dex wallet. The Ledger Nano X and the Ledger Nano S both support Binance Chain, but you won't be able to access their interface after July 1st. So there is another wallet, a phone-based wallet called Trust Wallet, where you can store Binance coin. But that's a big thing, you know, this whole what am I going to do with my Binance coin? And where were we here? I think I lost it. Here we go. Binance. Hey, Naomi, thanks for the tip. Thank you. I appreciate every little bit you guys throw my way is much, much, much appreciated. The article here is that Binance is rolling out their own Bitcoin token, which is it's pegged to Bitcoin, right? So it's like Tether that's pegged to the U.S. dollar, but this is a Bitcoin, a Binance chain native coin on the Binance chain tied to the price of Bitcoin. And the upshot of that is, if you've ever used any of the Binance DEX, it's amazingly fast. All right, so the idea here is that we'll have a coin tied to Bitcoin that you can directly exchange for Bitcoin that follows the price of, but that you can trade faster than Bitcoin. So another very, very innovative step that Binance is taking here. All right, so Mig asked if you can use a VPN to access Binance, and my answer, my best guess is yes. You know, you would be able to, but you might run afoul of U.S. regulations. If Binance somehow figured out that you were from the U.S., they might block your account or disable your account. That could be risky. If the IRS found out that you were trading on Binance, they might object. But I think, or the FCC or Homeland Security or whoever, but I don't think that the laws are really designed so much against the user as they are against the company, right? The company, Binance, is more concerned about running afoul of U.S. regulators than the individual user. I mean, and the U.S. regulators are probably going to come down more on the company than they would an individual. But it's very unclear. It's gray area. So if you do use a VPN and try to access Binance, you might want to just be cautious and maybe do a little research and find out what your pros and cons of that might be. But I think it's possible, right? Anything's possible with a VPN. How do you put ERC tokens on the Ledger Nano S without using browser support? Okay. All right, so browser support. Come on, Rex. Ugh. I don't know, gang. I just can't come into focus, can I? This stupid camera. Okay, come on. Ugh. All right, there it goes. It got me. It got me. It got me. All right. All right. So this is a very common question. I get this a lot. On some of my earlier videos, I talk about enabling browser support on a Ledger Nano S. Um, but ever since Ledger Live came out and the firmware got updated, there is no more browser support enable or disable. It is permanently enabled now if you're running the latest version of the firmware. So you really don't need it anymore. So Ledger Live will interface with your Ledger Nano S, and you are able to choose uh, mycrypto.com or myetherwallet.com. It's compatible, right? You don't have to enable or disable browser support anymore. You used to when you use the old Chrome apps, but we don't use those Chrome apps anymore. We use Ledger Live. So browser support is not a setting anymore, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. So I get that a lot, and rightly so, because it used. I mean, my videos, my older videos have it in there. If you go to Ledger support, they still have articles where they tell you to turn it on and off and this and that. So there's a lot of outdated information out there concerning the Ledger Nano S and browser support, but it is no longer on the Ledger Nano S. That setting is not there anymore. It's always on by default. So you can use Ledger Live, you can use My Ether Wallet, you can use My Crypto. You don't have to fool around with browser support being on or off in your Ethereum app. I hope that lays that to rest, at least for this week. All right, so all you have to do is go into your Ethereum app, connect to My Ether Wallet, and bam, you can transfer your ERC20 tokens onto your Ledger Nano S. Simple as that. I'm going to connect my Ledger X, and I'll put in my my PIN. It's just easier for me to use the X because it has all of the apps on there that I want to use. I still get people that have the Ledger Nano S that are aghast when they find out that it only holds like 4 apps. And rightly so, right? And so whenever I'm doing live streams or demos and I've got my Ledger S and I want to talk about Ethereum, I look and Ethereum's not on there. I gotta delete one app and put Ethereum on there and shuffle them on and off. And I don't have to fool around with that when I've got my Ledger Nano X connected, right? So, but the X, when it's connected to the computer, operates exactly like the S, right? It just has more storage and a bigger screen, right? So, my recommendation is to solve these problems about browser support. It's not on here either, or you don't have enough room for apps, all that stuff. Just go with the Ledger Nano X. A little bit more, but well worth the extra price. All right. So I'm going to go into the Ethereum app, right? So I'm going to go into Ethereum. Let's go here. There's still some, I know it's kind of weird with my chroma key on, but it says the application is ready, right? And there is settings, but you'll notice that there's no browser support, right? You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm just going to back out. And all you need to do is enter the Ethereum app and you're good to go, right? You don't need to fool around with browser support being on or off. Whoops. Come on, Rex. Oh, sorry. All right, so let's head over to My Ether Wallet. Oops. All right. And you can take a look and see, I'll hit Access My Wallet. I'm going to use I'm accessing the wallet that's on the Ledger Nano S. See, I just chose Ledger here. So I'm not logging into MEW. I don't need an MEW account. I'm just using the MEW interface to manage my wallet that's on here. So I'll choose that. I'm going to choose Ledger Live and I'll hit Next. and there it shows, it reads the Ethereum address on the ledger, right? I don't have to fool around with browser support. I don't know how many times I have to say that, right? Access my wallet, and boom, there you go. So I can send ERC20 tokens into this wallet by simply copying this address, the main Ethereum address, and pasting it into a cryptocurrency exchange that I want to withdraw from. I'm sure a lot of my longtime viewers have seen me do stuff like this many times. Let's try Binance. Unfortunately, I don't have any ERC20 tokens on Binance at the moment, but we'll just pretend. All right, so we'll get into that. Let's do our authenticator thing. All right. All right. Now, yeah, I'm going to do Binance tonight. I'm going to try to focus a little bit on Binance because there a lot of people are interested in getting their tokens off Binance. I totally understand. Most of them are in full panic mode. But there's no reason to panic, right? So you just go over here to funds, and let's say, for example, that I have a little bit of poly. Unfortunately, this small amount of poly is below the minimum, all right? But let's just say I want to withdraw it. Now, where do I want to withdraw to? I want to withdraw to this wallet, right? I just copied the address into my clipboard. So I can just paste that address in here, and boom, there I go. Now, if there was enough in here, I could hit max and then hit submit, and it would withdraw to my Ledger wallet, right? But as you can see, the transaction fee is 19 poly, and I only have 11, so I can't withdraw. And it would be the same for any ERC20 token that you had on Binance, right? If it were, let's find a good, I don't know. I don't know them all by heart, but ZRX, okay, ZRX is an ERC20 token, right? So we can withdraw ZRX to the same address, right? It's an ERC20 token. It can go to any Ethereum address that you've got control of, right, that you want to manage, right? And you just put in your amount there, if you got 1,000 of them, and you hit submit, and then you'll confirm, and it will go to this wallet, right? And it'll show up here on the side, and you'll see your ERC20 tokens. So pretty straightforward, and you don't need to mess around with the browser support settings. Okay, Binance requires an additional address and a memo when depositing GTO. Where do I put that into Bittrex withdrawal? Okay, so Felicia appears to be withdrawing GTO to Bittrex. All right, so let's go to Bittrex. So what you want, let's just check Bittrex. Let's just find out. It all depends on where you're sending the GTO, right? If you're withdrawing the GTO from Binance, let's just stick with Binance for a sec. If you're withdrawing GTO from Binance, all right, and you're withdrawing, they say, okay, do you want to use this memo field? Depending on your wallet, and I'm not familiar with GTO, but in general, if you've got your own wallet, like the GTO, I don't know if there's a GTO desktop or if Ledger supports it, you don't need that memo field when you're withdrawing to your own wallet. Now, if you're moving it from Binance to Bittrex, let's take a look at that. Let's go to Bittrex. Haven't logged into Bittrex in a while. There it is. Okay, I think this one. Hopefully. All right. Well, let's take a look here. Let's go to Bittrex. And that's my Bittrex. Okay. 853. think I got that right. Okay. I don't know what they're asking me there. Okay, I'm in. All right, so we're going to go to wallets, and we're going to go to GTO. Whoops. All right. I don't see GTO on Bittrex. So I don't know that Bittrex supports GTO. All right, so let's do that. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I had like hide small balances enabled. All right, so if I want to withdraw, or no, I want to deposit it, right? I want to make the deposit. Blah, 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 blah. Your deposit address must hold more, blah, 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 blah. Generate wallet address. All right, so there's a minimum and decimals and whatnot. And okay, so I'm just gonna, okay, so there it is. All right, and that's all they're giving me. It doesn't look like they have the memo field. But here's the thing. See, the reason why you have these memo fields is to differentiate. If you're depositing a bunch into the same address, then and there are multiple people depositing into that same address, the memo field will differentiate whose wallet is whose, right, on the exchange. But in the case of Binance, it looks to me like they just generated a unique GTO address for you, for your wallet. So you have your own GTO wallet on Bittrex. And so now you can take that address and put it into your Binance and paste it in there and choose no memo, right? You don't need the memo when you're depositing to Binance because Binance generated a unique address for you. Disclaimer, please don't just transfer all of it right away. Just transfer a very small amount, and remember they had some restrictions there. You might want to maybe just 0.5, right, to make sure it's over their threshold, and then make sure that it goes into your Bittrex account. And if it does with the no memo, then you're golden, right? Then just go ahead and transfer the rest of it. And that would be, you know, what I would do, right? But for God's sake, please transfer a small amount first to make sure it works. And if it doesn't work, then I guess you're going to have to contact Binance tech support and try and figure out if there's a way to deposit your GTO. But to me, it looks like they generated a unique GTO wallet address for you, and you don't need the memo field, right? That's just my take on it. So let me just check questions. I want to play around with Binance Dex a little bit so you guys can get a feel for it. All right. Oh, why are they doing this? I think we talked a little bit about why Binance is blocking U.S. access. It's to protect themselves from U.S. regulators. If somebody in the U.S. is using Binance and they buy some shady coin or whatever, that is okay in Europe but not okay in the U.S., regulated in the U.S. a certain way, the U.S. regulators might come to after Binance and hit them with fines or sanctions or whatever because they've supposedly cheated U.S. customers or done something shady or whatever. So Binance, instead of trying to create compliance in all of their different, they have thousands of tokens. And instead of trying to comply with all these U.S. regulations, they just said, okay, fine, we just won't deal with the U.S. Similar to Bittrex doesn't work in New York because New York has all these regulations that Bittrex can't comply with reasonably. So they just said, okay, fine, we won't sell to anybody in New York. Right? Similar. It's a regulatory thing. They're protecting themselves from the U.S. regulators. Parlay, you're great, Dad. Rex, thank you. I was staring down my 6-year-old. Okay, ATM machines that pump out cash will replace with cryptocurrency machines. It'll be like the old telephone that you had to put change in. All right. Ooh, there was a little more here. Okay, so I may have skipped a question here. I did just what you're saying for Theta, and Binance shows my transaction completed, but it's still after 3 days not showing up at my Ether wallet. Any ideas how to find it? Well, okay. Theta, unfortunately, Theta is not an ERC20 token anymore. I believe Theta is on its own blockchain now. So, Theta Ledger. I believe, let's do Ledger Theta. I don't know that much about Theta. Okay, yeah. So as far as I know, Theta is no longer an ERC20 token. So you're going to need the native Theta wallet in conjunction with the Theta app, right? I can't believe I can't find their article. Let's try this. Ledger support Theta. Uh-huh. All right. So basically, you need to use the Theta wallet, and you can use your Ledger device, but it's a separate app now. It's no longer an ERC20 token. So just like if I were to try to take my Binance coin, my BNB, and transfer it into my Ether wallet to my Ethereum address, I think Binance coin would tell you, can't do that. But some of these coins that have, like CMT is a good example. I have a friend, a customer, a viewer that actually transferred a lot of his CMT into his My Ether wallet, and it disappeared. And there is a way to get it back, but it's not very. It's a little risky because it involves using your backup phrase to generate the private key. And then once you've got that private key, you put it in the Theta wallet, but you're kind of exposing all of the coins on your ledger when you do that. So it's a little tricky, but I'm not sure how much Theta you tried to transfer to my Ether wallet, but if you did it recently, then the Theta on the exchange is no longer an ERC20 token, so it's not going to work. That's the long and short of it. Yeah, Theta's in mainnet now. Is there any difference in security between Coinbase and Coinbase Pro? I think they're both pretty secure, but you save money on Coinbase Pro. You probably want to stick with Coinbase Pro if you're seriously buying and selling cryptocurrencies, right? Although you can't use a debit card in Coinbase Pro, but you can buy in Coinbase and then transfer with your debit card instantly, and then you can transfer those assets from Coinbase to Coinbase Pro very easily. Or if you're the patient type, which I'm not, you can fund your Coinbase Pro account with US dollars with a bank transfer. But that takes a few days to clear. But once you've done that, then you have a balance, and that's a US dollar balance in your Coinbase Pro account that you can use to buy cryptocurrencies and or trade back and forth one way or the other. Yes, Bitcoin is past 10K. Let's see where it's at now. It may have gone back down now. Oh, we're still in Binance coin there. Holy cow, 10.4. Wow. Nice. Good news for all you crypto people. So let's, it's the BIP39 tool. Let me show you what that is. The BIP39 tool is a a browser-based code generator, right? And I can put in my 24-word recovery phrase here in the BIP mnemonic. And then I can choose to generate a private key for Bitcoin. But in your case, what you need to do is generate the private key for the Ethereum wallet that you sent that theta to. And once you've entered that the 24-word recovery phrase, it'll generate that private key. And you might be able to use that private key in your theta wallet. But it might be more complicated than that. I remember for the CMT, I had to use BIP32, and I had to fool around with the settings. I found it on a Reddit post. So it's not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that. And you don't want to do this online, right? There's a downloadable version of this that you can download and run locally and disconnect your computer from the internet because you're dealing with a private key. You don't want that exposed to the internet. It's not really going to expose it to the internet by using this tool because this is a Java-based tool. So it's just occurring within your browser. It's not sending it out anywhere to a server. But because in the fact that you're online while doing this could expose that key, right? If you've got snooper software or your machine's been compromised and you've got keyloggers or whatever, you happen to be infected, then you run the risk of exposing that recovery phrase by using this tool. So it's just a risk, right? So download the local version, disconnect, run that tool on your 24-word recovery phrase, try to generate your private key. Then you're also risking your theta when you paste theta, the private key, into your theta web wallet, right? So, but if you lost a lot of theta, I mean, it's worth it, right? If you lost $500 worth of theta, then you probably should go do this. But if you only lost a couple of bucks worth of theta because you were just testing it, then there's really no need to go through all this, right? It's not worth the risk. You're welcome, guys. Hey, so I wanted to play around with the Binance DEX because I think it's really cool. Let's see. We got Binance.com. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Wow. Okay. BEP community program. Yeah. But see, the thing is, it's going to take a while. But I'll go ahead and do it. Right. Let's play with some Binance. Let's play with Binance here. All right. So we still got some time left in the live stream. So why don't we buy some Bitcoin and transfer it onto Binance, right? So let's do it. Let's go to Cash App. All right. Let's go to Cash. Let's add cash, 100 bucks. Let's add 100. All right, now we've got the cash. That was from my debit card, right? So I've just funded the Cash App. Now let's go over to Bitcoin. See Bitcoin down there? I'm going to buy Bitcoin, right? Let's buy 100 bucks worth, which is pretty cool that I can buy 100 bucks worth of Bitcoin with that 100 bucks that I just deposited. And I've noticed my bank, it only takes 100 bucks out. So I didn't pay anything for that. Now, I did get a small fee, right? As when I confirm this purchase, you'll notice that I don't get there it is. I only got $98.71 worth of Bitcoin. But that's not bad. $1.25. That's like like 1% of a fee of 1% when I bought it. All right, now let's put it onto Binance. So let's go over to our Binance app. You can do all this on your phone. I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's go to Funds. All right, and let's go over to Bitcoin. All right, and I'm going to do a deposit. Right, I'm going to hit deposit. I'm going to copy that Bitcoin address into my clipboard. Let's go back over here to the Cash app. Let's scroll down where it says withdraw. Let's slide that slider all the way over and hit withdraw. And I don't need to scan anything. I just need to enter that address that I pasted into my clipboard, right? That's the Binance, whoops. That's the Binance Bitcoin wallet that I just got. And now I confirm. And I got to put the... I'll move this over just in case someone wants... You never know, right? I had to enter my PIN, right? And that would have exposed my PIN to the rest of the... Hello, Internet. All right, so there we go. I just bought some... I funded the app, bought some Bitcoin, and transferred it into my Binance account, all on my phone. So pretty cool, huh? So we'll get back to that because it's going to take a little while for that Bitcoin to actually arrive in my Binance account and become spendable. But we'll see a couple of alerts from that, and I'll show them to you as we go along. But in the meantime, let's check out the Binance DEX with my Ledger Nano S, and I'll show you how cool the Ledger X. Let me show you how cool the Ledger Nano X is. All right, so I'm gonna switch here. All right, and I'm sorry that the chroma key is on, but it's kind of a pain to turn it on and off. Okay, so there's Binance Chain. I think you can read it okay. All right, and I'm going to enter Binance Chain, and Binance Chain is ready. All right, so let's go to the Binance DEX and check it out. Crypto exchanges, Binance Decentralized Exchange, and I'm going to choose Unlock Wallet, right? This is a BNB wallet. I could use the Wallet Connect with my phone. I've done that before. But in this case, I'm using the Ledger Nano X. So I'll hit Connect Ledger, and then it's going to search for some BNB coin, an address with BNB coin in it. There it is. I'm going to hit Confirm there. And there's the warning. It's telling me that I won't be able to access this DEX starting July 1st. Oh. Huh. If you're accessing Binance.org from an IP address belonging, please note that by 12 September, trading and accessing to the wallet interface will no longer... They changed it. It did say July 1st. But now it says September 12th. So we've got the heady days of summer to play around with our Binance DEX, boys and girls. We might be rich before this is all over. All right, so I'm going to choose I understand. Oops, I talked too long. Oops, let's try that again. Oh, okay, so here it is. Should I do this or not? Maybe it'll work, right? All right, so if you look here, this is really cool. It's telling me everything. Oh, okay, there it is. Boom. I'm going to hit approve, but it's probably not going to approve. Yeah. It's because I talk too long, guys. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. All right. I don't think that I'm connected. I'm just going to log out and try again. Or let's just do it this way. Yeah, because my ledger is like stuck at that approve. And this time I won't babble. Let's go back. Let's just get out. All right, let's start over. All right, so let me put in my PIN. Sorry about this, guys. Whoops. All right. Come on, Rex. You can do this. You've only entered this PIN 3,000 times. All right. It's probably going to tell me this incorrect PIN. Oops. Wow. Okay. All right. Having some trouble with this thing. A lot of trouble. Wow. Okay. Do I have anything else plugged into this? Wow. Okay. The This thing is really acting up now. Ah, thank God. It went off. I was like, geez, it's like frozen solid. Okay. I'm going to connect it again. And let's enter the PIN. Okay. It's responding to me now. Again. That's good. Now, most people would have had a heart attack if that had happened to them. You need to lose a couple of $100 worth of Bitcoin just to harden your heart. You know? All right. Okay. Wow. All right. I'm back on the screen. All right, so I'm going to go back up to Lordy. All right, so Binance Chain again. All right, and let's go back over here on screen. Let's go back to our crypto Binance DEX. Let's do unlock wallet. We're going to use the ledger. All right, we're going to choose the address. We're going to hit confirm. We're going to click OK, and then I'm going to quickly confirm this before it goes away. All right, we did it. All right, so now we're on the Binance DEX, right? And we're safely connected with our ledger, right? The private key of the Binance wallet is safely stored on this ledger. And as you saw, there's some Binance coin in there, and then there's also some other coins in there. If I go over to balances, you can take a look, and then I have to confirm this. It's a little bit of a pain, but that's okay, right? So I have some other Binance-based coins in here. So pretty cool stuff, right? So let's go over to the exchange part, and I got to confirm again, right? And so they're going to have a Binance coin, a Bitcoin pegged coin on their DEX in the very near future, right? They don't yet, but they've been adding trading pairs for quite a while. And as you can see, most of their native coins are down right now for some reason. The Bitcoin and Binance coin have taken off quite a bit at the expense of the altcoins. A lot of these altcoins on the Binance DEX were way up recently, and so I guess there was some profit taking in general. It's still small, and it's still not fully liquid, right? So it's just kind of for the brave at heart, right? It will stabilize as time goes on, but this is big stuff, guys. It's unfortunate that we won't have access to it. But at least we will until September, which is interesting. I wonder why they changed that date. Yeah, my pin. Sailor to Life. Everybody's happy that Bitcoin is on the rise tonight, right? 445 now. So we're seeing quite a raise in Bitcoin. All right, so but that's the Binance DEX, and you'll notice that it integrates nicely with the Ledger Nano X and or S. You could do the same thing with an S if you had the Binance Chain app installed on your manager, right? And you do that in Ledger Live. You go to Ledger Live, you install that Binance app, right? Hi, Betty. How are you? So can you send BTC from the Cash App directly to the Ledger Nano S? Yes, you can. We can do that. Why don't we? All right, let's just do... yeah, let's do it from the phone. I'm going to disconnect, right? I actually had thought about doing this earlier. So let's do that again. Let's do Cash App. Let's put another $25 in there. just for the heck of it, right? And let's buy ourselves $25 worth of Bitcoin, right? So let's do, oops, let's go to Bitcoin. Let's do, oops, let's do buy. Let's do 25, and there. All right, now we want to withdraw the Bitcoin, right? So where are we going to withdraw it to? Let's roll over to our Ledger Live app, right? And I'm going to go to my Bitcoin account, right? The Bitcoin account is tied to this Ledger Nano X, right? So I'm going to hit Bitcoin. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to go to accounts. And then after that, I'm going to hit Bitcoin. All right, and I want to do a receive, right? So it asks me, where do you want to receive it from? Well, it's gonna go onto the Ledger Nano X, right? And so it connects to the X. I need to open my Bitcoin app on the device, right? So let me enter my PIN, and hopefully I don't screw this up. All right, so I need to get out of Binance Chain, right? And I need to enter the Bitcoin app. All right, and now you'll notice it's not connected to anything. I'm using the Bluetooth here. Let's go into the Bitcoin app, right? And now my phone should see that. Should see that. There, it saw it. Cool, right? Now I've got my phone, right? So I'm going to hit continue, and there's that Bitcoin address that I want to send to. So I confirmed on the device, and it's actually showing on the device, right? That's another cool thing about the Ledger Nano X. Damn it. Sorry. Cripes. Oh my. All right, there we go. I can confirm this address and approve it, right? So I've just confirmed that that is in fact the right Bitcoin receiving address, right? And there we go. We'll just copy it. I'm going to use my finger on my phone. I'm going to copy the address into my clipboard. Let's roll back over here to the Cash App. Hit withdrawal Bitcoin. What? Oh, I got to buy it first. Okay. So we're going to buy it, 25. I guess I didn't quite finish when I was doing that earlier. All right, so there. I have the Bitcoin now in the wallet, right? The 24.69. So that only cost me like 30 cents, right? Let's go down to withdraw Bitcoin. Let's withdraw the max. And we're going to enter manually. We're going to paste in the address of the Ledger Nano S. X. Ledger Nano X. Right? And there it is, right? I can confirm by looking at this. I can't really see it, can I? Can I? Yeah, 3M, Z2PU. That's it. Confirm. Right? Enter my PIN in secret. It's such a stupid PIN that I can't even. I'm embarrassed to show it to you. All right, so done. Boom. All right. So we sent Bitcoin from the Cash App directly into the Ledger Nano X, right? And then we can check it on Ledger Live. Let's just close this. And then maybe do a refresh. It might take a little bit for that Bitcoin to arrive. So I'll keep you posted. But it should be coming in fairly quickly. Sort of. All right? We'll see. It went up a little bit, but I think that's just because the price of Bitcoin went up. I may be overly optimistic about this, right? Did I get a? I don't know that. No, I still haven't gotten the Binance confirmation that I've transferred the coin into my Binance account either. Right. So once we do that, we'll buy some BNB. How much effort does it take to transfer from the Ledger Nano S to the Ledger Nano X? Not that much effort if you've got things set up properly. But really, if you just get that receiving address that I just did, right? You saw how I got the receiving address of the Bitcoin wallet of the Ledger Nano X. Now that address, I could email it to myself. I could copy it into my clipboard, whatever. I could write it down and then have it whenever I wanted to transfer any Bitcoin to that address, right? And then I could just connect my Ledger Nano S, my old Ledger Nano S into Ledger Live and do a send to that new Bitcoin address, right? Oh, $4 tonight. Okay. Let's get this in. Okay, thank you. Period. So not much effort at all. Now there are some other ways to do this, and I think maybe I've demoed that to you guys, that you can create multiple accounts in Ledger Live connected to separate ledgers. So in that case, it's pretty straightforward. So I've got I've got a video on that, transferring assets from the old ledger to the new ledger. And I also have a video on using your 24-word recovery phrase. Let's say you just want to, you buy this brand new Ledger X and you just want everything on that now, right? You can, instead of initializing the device and setting it up as a new device, you can do a restore from a 24-word recovery phrase of your previous ledger, and presto changeo, you've got all your coins on your new ledger. Because you've transferred the private keys over, and you didn't even have any transfer fees because you really didn't transfer anything at all. You just pointed your new device to all of your existing wallets, right? So there's a couple of videos on that I'll just point out to you. Let's see here. They're fairly recent, so they won't take me too long to find. Okay. So here is the first method where we just talked about transferring from one to the other, right? And that's kind of your original question, right? That's transferring from Ledger Nano X S to X, right? And then this other video is how to do a restore. Where is that? Right, this one, how to restore the Ledger Nano X from the 24-word recovery phrase of your previous ledger. So two different ways to accomplish that. Right? So those are step-by-step videos on the question that you just brought up, rather than me just blurting out answers. All right. That is true. You don't even have to approve. If you know the address of your Bitcoin wallet on any of your ledgers, you can send crypto to it all day long. There's really no reason to confirm if you already know it's correct, right? If you've sent to that several times, then you really, it's just a little bit double duty, right, to do that. Let's see if that Bitcoin from Cash App came in. Not yet. Pretty soon. Oh, wait, that's it. Oh, okay, cool. There it is. All right, so the Bitcoin just arrived from Cash App. As you can see, received 21 June, today at 7:03 p.m., I received $23.12 worth of Bitcoin. Don't take much stock in the value that Ledger Live gives to your assets. I don't know why. It just tends to be conservative. So I'm sure that it was a lot closer to $25 worth of Bitcoin than $23 worth of Bitcoin. I don't look at it as that I lost it in that transfer. I lost a little bit of it, but probably not quite that much, right? So there you go. So we transferred from Cash App to Ledger Nano X using only our phones. We didn't even need the desktop version of Ledger Live to do that, right? And then we also sent some to the Binance app on my phone as well, and I'll show you that in a minute when it confirms on Binance. Do you think Coinbase will add ADA, IOTA, and VET? Well, there's a lot of speculation that ADA will be the next major coin that gets added. So it's kind of been in the works for a long time. I think that Coinbase said in early 2018 that there were 4 coins that they were considering adding to their list of coins, and I think 3 of those have already been added. BAT, 0x, just like they've added, they have quite a few coins now. And they used to be that Coinbase effect. When Coinbase would add a coin, like when they added Bitcoin Cash, there was a big a breakout of Bitcoin Cash, and there was recriminations of insider trading and that sort of thing. But there used to be, whenever Coinbase would announce that they were adding a coin, that coin value in the market would pop up. And if Coinbase even hinted that they might be adding a particular coin, the price would go up. There was a lot of manipulation back in the late 2017 with people saying on Twitter that so and such a coin would be added to Coinbase and would be going to the moon soon and pumping it up. But that effect has sort of mitigated over time. So they may add ADA with not much fanfare in the very near future. And if it's in the near future, it's going to kind of be overshadowed by the price of Bitcoin anyway. But if you remember in 2017, when Bitcoin had its big run-up, that all the altcoins followed suit. And there was a lot of pump and dump schemes during that time. So please be careful, guys, when you see things on Twitter and Facebook about certain coins that they sound like a great idea, but you don't know anything about them except the fact that somebody mentioned them in a tweet or a post. So do your due diligence before buying any of these fly-by-night coins. Don't let greed get the better of you, right? Please stay safe out there. How do we put EOS on the Nano X when not supported? I don't care for EOS much. Apparently they do support it with the Fairy wallet, but I've never been able to get the Fairy wallet to work, so I gave up on trying to store EOS in any wallet. So like if we, let's get this guy out of the way. If we go to Ledger EOS, yeah. So there's a whole article on how you get EOS on your Ledger. They don't support it in Ledger Live, but there's an app. You can, there is an EOS app in Ledger Manager. And once you do Ledger, once you install the EOS app, then you have to go download the Fairy wallet. And once you get the Fairy wallet downloaded, you would connect to your Ledger, access the private key, and create an EOS wallet. But I've never been able to get through it. It's never worked for me. So I'm not a big fan of EOS. But that's the long and short of it, right? If you really dead set on getting EOS on your ledger, this is the way to do it. So I want to bring up this point. I mean, a lot of people. Oh, there, you can see the Cash app just confirmed my Bitcoin out onto the blockchain. Now I think that was the second one, right? The second one came out first. Whatever. All right, we'll just wait for the Bitcoin, the Bittrex alert. So EOS is a very good example of a coin that is supported on the Ledger Nano X or S, but is not in Ledger Live. And I get a lot of complaints about this, and they go, why isn't the coin in Ledger Live? And it's a valid complaint. You know, I've learned that there are certain coins that they support in Ledger Live, and then there are other coins that they support storing the private key on your device, but they don't have a wallet interface. Hey, there we go. That's what we were waiting for. That's our Binance deposit success, right? So now we can go over to our Binance. So anyway, let me finish that thought. So don't get all butthurt when you see Ledger saying that they support your coin, but it's not in Ledger Live. It's just the way of the world, right? There are certain, Ledger doesn't have the resources to have a wallet interface for every coin out there that they can store the private key on their device. But having the ability to store your coin private key on the ledger, even though you need to use a third-party wallet, is better than not being able to store your private key on the ledger, right? So, okay, yeah, the EOS, Stellar, Tron, ADA, all of those coins are supported on the ledger, but you cannot view or manage your balance using Ledger Live. That's just the way it is. There are third-party wallets that allow you to do that. And it sucks, but that's just the way it is. So I'm sorry about that, but a lot of people, they get really upset when they don't see their coin in Ledger Live. They think it's some bug, but it's not. It's the way it was designed. It's poor interface design, right? They whatever you want to call it. They just don't support certain coins. All right, so now we've got our Binance. Our Bitcoin should be in Binance now, right? All right, so I got $100 in Binance now, in Bitcoin. Right? Let's do this all on our phone, right? Let's go over to BNB. And by this time, I'll probably only get one BNB. BNB might be $100 now. Where's BNB? What, do they not have it anymore? Hide small balances. Okay, there's BTC. BNB. Binance coin. What, they don't have it anymore? It used to be right there. TBN. BCN. Maybe I should just search for it. It's usually in the list. Great God Almighty. All right. Well, how is it not in there? It was just in there a day ago. All right. And you can't search. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's bizarre. You can't buy BNB on Binance anymore? Well, we'll just log into my Binance desktop and see where it is. Because that's really bizarre. It used to be in here. And it was high on the list. There it is. Holy moly, it's way down there. That was weird. Okay. Maybe just because I had a zero balance. BNB, all right? Let's do BTC BNB trade. Let's do a market order so it happens right away. Come on, baby. There it is. Let's do a market order. Let's do 100%. And I'm going to get 2.59 BNB coin with my $100 worth of Bitcoin. Let's hit buy. And I succeeded. All right. So let's go back to funds. And what do we got here? What happened? I thought I just traded it. Oh, there it is. Right. Let's hide small balances. There it is. BNB coin. Right. So now we got the BNB coin in our Binance account. And I would like to put it on my Ledger device. So the easiest way for me to do that, since if I were using the Trust wallet, I could do a phone-to-phone thing. But I'm gonna put it in my that Ledger-based wallet, right? So let's get the phone out of the way. Let's go back over to, we got the DEX already. So let's log into our Binance cryptocurrency exchange account. All right. Let's use our password manager. Let's log ourselves in. I'm going to swing this guy over here. I'm going to need my Google Authenticator code. All right. That's done. Okay. All right. All right. Now I can check those funds and I can see let's hide small balances. We got that BNB coin in there, right? Same account. I'm just using my desktop because it's going to be easier the way we're doing this. I might be able to do it from the... Actually, let's try it from the phone. Wouldn't that be cool? Let's try. We're going to go to the Binance DEX. We're going to go to balances. Is this thing still connected? No, it's not even connected, but it's there, right? I still have the balance and the address showing in my browser. So let's try that. Let's try that. Let's go to the Binance app. Let's go to Binance and choose withdrawal. And there. Yes. Let's do it. Boom. All right. Let's check it out. There. There. I did it. BNB 1Z blah 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 blah. Okay, so we got it. All right. I don't need a memo. I'm gonna max it out. No tag. It's still not. Whoops. Oh, let's just hit withdrawal. No, it's still not. No, let's do that. It's not cooperating with me. Yeah, that button should turn blue.
You are a baby too. You are a baby too.
I keep expecting that to... Okay.
No.
Aha! There it goes. BNB 1Q. Oh, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Okay. That's a different one that I've done before. Let's scan that QR code again. All right, there. That's the right address. That's the address of the DEX. Right? You can see on my phone that BNB 1ZLG blah 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 is the same as this one, right? And now my button's green, so let's hit it. I need my Google Authenticator code. 049962. 049962. Was that it? Please tell me that was it. All right, I screwed it up. All right, so let's try again. Okay, it changed. 75. I can just copy it. Well, let's let it switch. All right, let's just copy it into our clipboard. Let's go back over here. Let's paste it, right? And then hit done and submit. All right, and it's going to ask me to confirm with an email. And it'll show up on my phone here. There it is. All right, so I'm going to confirm the email. In the email, my withdrawal. Confirm.
I'm not an idiot.
All right. There, we did it. Isn't that amazing? All right. So it wants me to log into Binance, which I'm not going to do. All right, because we got it. We can look at it here. We can go to transaction history, and we can see that I'm processing a withdrawal to this address. All right. And let's go back over here. Now, the one thing that I didn't do was like totally confirm, but it's no big deal. I knew I was already on the page.
Idiot.
Let's do this. All right, and I'm going to go back into Binance Chain. All right. And just make sure, you know, we'll go, oops, let's go back here. All right, we're just confirming that address on the device one more time. All right.
Go away, dude. Go away.
Transactions.
Go away.
Balances. I think it already came in, if I recall. Maybe not. Maybe not yet.
No, you.
Did it come in or not? I wasn't. I have to roll back the video and see if there was less than that amount earlier. But I think it already came in. Of course, it's still going to say processing on this end. So but $100 went up. So I'm trying to figure out where my list of transactions are. I thought it would have been here.
No, you more. No, you
From,
more.
it should have shown up here.
No, you.
Transactions. No, so I guess it hasn't come in yet, right?
You all even
Not yet.
more.
All right, so we can keep an eye on it.
All even more.
Let's go back to balances. So what, it was like 5 something, right? Oh, there it is. Okay. So it's now 8.1. Hey, William. All right, I'm looking. Hope all is well this week. Good sir, we appreciate you. I think the last time you tipped me, there was a question in the tip, and I didn't even read it. I was just so happy for the tip that I forgot to read the question. And I didn't notice it till scroll down a little way, and you were like, hey, answer my question, I gotta go. But thank you for that, William. So success, right? So I hope that as you follow me along, not only am I revealing my private personal information to you, my faithful viewers, haphazardly, to a certain extent, but I hope you'll see as I bumble through some of these things that there are going to be glitches along the way, that not everything is going to go smooth as silk, right? You're going to, like you remember, my ledger kind of seized up at one point while we were working tonight. You know, I fumbled around getting the wrong address or whatever. So things happen, right? But if you just keep your cool and don't get all bent out of shape and just kind of deal with it, a lot of times, and I talked about this in my Q&A, my Patreon Q&A, sometimes what you'll do it right, and I know I did it right, and so I just keep trying until it works. Whereas someone else who's not sure of themselves will do it right the first time, and then it doesn't work for them. So instead of just trying it again, they try it different, and then they try it even more different, and then things get even more screwed up. So have confidence in yourself, right? If you've done it before and it's worked for you before, and for some reason it doesn't work, don't start experimenting with different methods, right? Just keep trying it the right way until it works. And that would be disconnect it, reconnect it, re-enter your PIN, exit the app, re-enter the app, reboot your computer if you have to. I mean, just like do normal everyday troubleshooting until you can get things to work the right way, right? And so you notice tonight I use my phone a lot because it's much easier now to buy Bitcoin directly with your phone. Pretty cheap using the Cash app. Pretty easy to transfer it into your own wallet. I transferred some Bitcoin to Binance, bought the coin I was after, my BNB coin, and immediately transferred that into my own wallet, right? So now I own it, and it's safe and secure in my Ledger-based wallet. So if anything, just kind of see that stuff happens and roll with the punches, shall we say. Now, I would like to tease you guys. I know it's kind of late, but I know the diehards are usually here. I'm going to tease this. I'm pretty sure, I'm 90% sure that next week's live stream, I'm going to have two people from Brave International interview. I'm going to have them come on the live stream for a little, maybe a 20-minute, 30-minute Q&A. There's a guy named Assad who is in tech support and finance support. And then he said he was going to bring his friend from marketing. And I gave them a whole list of questions that I want to ask them about how the Brave browser works, how it's going to work in the future. And so I hope you guys are as excited as I am that they're going to join me for an interview, right? So, and I really appreciated that. So look forward to that next week. I'm going to have a couple of guys from Brave International come on my live stream and answer some questions and talk about the Brave browser and BAT token. Let's see. I had your video up today following it again, word for word, just to send my small amount from Coinbase to Ledger. Thanks for all your help. You're welcome, Betty. That's why I do these videos. I want them to be step by step, and I don't want to leave anything out. I go to a lot of great pains to make sure that I have every step of the video process, right? And that's why I usually have to buy some coin when I do my video, because I need to show you exactly what's happening. I've watched a lot of videos where the guy will get to the point where he says, okay, and if I were really buying it, I would, this is where I would buy it. And then I would, I always go through it step by step and do exactly what you would do. So I hope that you find that useful. Betty says she does, and I hope that my normal viewers do too. I get a lot of flack from people on YouTube that say I move too slow. I was accused of prattling. He goes, I don't have time to listen to this guy prattle. And prattle is talk at length in a foolish or inconsequential way. And I took offense to that. I'm like, I maybe move too slow for you, but I'm not speaking foolishly or inconsequentially. I'm just going through it step by step, maybe a little too slow for you. I might not be on topic the whole time, but I'm not just spouting nonsense. I'm talking. Now, the live stream, sometimes I digress, but yeah. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up. Check out my videos on my channel. Check out my Patreon page. Don't forget, I have the live stream every Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please join me for the live Q&A in LA. Throw out any questions that you may have, and I'll do my best to get them answered on the fly. And if you need some crypto therapy, some group Q&A, some group Q&A therapy sessions, crypto therapy, or some one-on-one crypto therapy, check out my Patreon page. There's a lot of tiers that might fill your needs if you're in a bind and you need some help. I'd love to have you join my Patreon group and support me and get to know me a little better. So I look forward to that and check that out. William, thanks again. William Blair, thanks again for the tip.
You're a buster.
Someone else gave me a tip tonight. Naomi Shearson, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys that are throwing the tips my way.
No.
If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.